Hey, John.
Howdy again. Do you want to start the whole process again?
Yeah. Okay. Hello. Today is June 7th, 2018, and this is Northeast Wisconsin E-Club in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. And today we're going to have a great, unique thing in Rotary. We're going to be talking to a Rotarian from the future. John Clements is in Australia, which is tomorrow morning. He's Friday. And John and I are working together for the Rotary International Convention. There's a breakout session on e-clubs, and we're doing a section on hybrid clubs. And as you know, hybrid clubs are clubs that do most of their business online. But we have in our club process as part of the structure to meet with fellow Rotarians, same place, same time. And what John does in Australia is totally different what we're doing here in Wisconsin. So John is going to be telling us about how they do it over there. Hello, John.
Howdy, Andy. How you going?
Very good.
Thanks very much for the invite to do this. If I did it face to face instead of recording, it'd be 2 o'clock in the morning for me where I live. But it is the future for you guys. It's 9:30 a.m. on Friday. Oh, it's 9:45 now on Friday morning, and I certainly appreciate the opportunity to do this. I'm in a caravan, an RV, 1,500 kilometres from home, on the way to a what we call a muster, which you'll hear more about in the future. So I will share my screen and put you through a PowerPoint. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, I do. Technology is great when it works, John.
It is fantastic. Okay, so I'm John Clements, current president of the Rotary E-Club of Australia Nomads, or as we're better known down under, the Rotary Nomads. And I'm on my way to a muster to become the past president, which is fantastic. We are a hybrid club. Andy has talked about that, similar to you in some ways. We meet weekly on a Wednesday evening online using Zoom, and we also meet at various locations around Australia at what we call musters. And these musters vary in time, and some of them are small groups and some of them are larger groups. At the moment, so Louise and I live 2,000 kilometres from Murwillumbah, where we're going, and we have started driving a week ago, and we're picking up people as we go. At the moment, we are in Armidale. I'll point these out on a map in a minute. We're in Armidale, New South Wales. There's 15 of us, and we're still a few hundred k's from Murwillumbah. The Nomads meet weekly on a Wednesday, as I said, with people all over Australia, and so we meet also at the same time different places with our Zoom meetings, and you can see the grid there that several other of the E-clubs have been using in their presentations. Our membership base consists of people who are new to Rotary at one end of the spectrum and very experienced Rotarians at the other end. Partners are people who are members of Rotary clubs, and these people get the face-to-face Rotary experience at home and can maintain their Rotary interest while they're travelling. The best part about our Zoom meetings is that you can have a wine while sitting in bed with your computer on your lap, which if it was evening I'd be doing. It's a bit different doing that in the morning, having a wine. The biggest inhibitor for us is when people are travelling and they're in a place where there's no internet service. And to get on this meeting a few minutes ago, I did have a bit of trouble with the internet. We do rely on it heavily for our Zoom meetings, obviously, and a large part of Australia is not served by the internet as it's so sparsely populated. Our meetings are recorded, similar to this, so that people who cannot get online at the time of the meeting can find out what happened at a later time. We're no different to other clubs in respect to the service work we do, and you people can all read. That's how we go about our service work. And currently this year, we are making a difference to many groups. We began as a satellite club of the Rotary Club of Jindalee which is a suburb of Brisbane, in June 2014, and 3 Rotarians were going away for an extended RV holiday, and they wondered how they'd cope without their Rotary involvement, and that was the birth of this club. This slide shows the Nomads in March 2015, where we celebrated our charter at a central location of Broken Hill. That's in New South Wales, and our president's in the light blue shirt. He just wanted to be a bit different. We currently have 40 members. The map shows where our members live in Australia. We're not on the road all the time. Most of us have homes, while a few are much more mobile on their vans or motorhomes. Now, I've mentioned a few towns. I live there, and we've driven all this way here. Currently, we are about here in New South Wales, and our muster is here. So as we've gone, we've picked up these other people here, most of them, and we are driving to Murwillumbah, where we're going to spend a week to 10 days for a lot of fun and our changeover. Over 90% of our members own an RV, even though it's not a prerequisite for joining. We've got an overseas member currently in Helsinki. He's from Western Australia, but works alternately in Helsinki, and not far from you guys in Chicago. This map, shows where our service work has been conducted in the last couple of years. You can see overseas, we've got 2 members who are just currently right at the moment flying home from Samoa. We've been to a dry river creek bed races in Central Australia, where that green dot is in Alice Springs. We've been to rodeos in Mount Isa, where that blue dot is, and our population is all on the east and southern coast, so we do lots of different things there. As with any organisation, communication is important, particularly in organisations where, like ours, like e-clubs, we don't see each other face to face and don't get that peripheral chatter at meetings to chat about this, that and the other that's happening. So we have an online travel calendar. We have a bulletin, which is produced every week after our meetings and just won the district newsletter prize. And we have an agenda. That agenda lists our current donations that we've made to different clubs. But the travel calendar helps keep track of where members are, and our weekly club meetings always preceded by this agenda. We have great guest speakers on Rotary and non-Rotary programs, and we do use Facebook extensively for chat, public relations, and we put all our documents on the website, which is there for future reference if you do want to check out our club. Here's some examples of some of the local working bees we've done, and there's a lot of similarities between Rotary clubs, but they're all different. We assisted the Rotary Club of Townsville, which is in the far north of Australia, with a Red Sox project for prostate cancer. This one here is helping the Rotary Club of Chinchilla, which is in Queensland, in the outback, at a festival. And this one here was a fun run in Victoria in the Dandenong Mountains, assisting or raising funds for autism. In 2016-17, we were able to donate over $20,000 to various charities. As our club has evolved, we've not only supported other Rotary clubs, raise money for their charities, but we've managed to raise funds for our own. The Royal Flying Doctor Service is a national air ambulance service that provides emergency first aid assistance anywhere in Australia by air transport. And that we've supported them financially, and that's important in Australia. We've supported them since our inception, and this epitomises our club motto of helping hands across the land. One of the most enjoyable features of our club are our musters and the fellowship that happens. Musters are when a group of members get together in the RVs or cabins at a caravan park, motels, and enjoy a mixture of fellowship, fundraising and service. 2 examples are exactly a year ago we were in Berry, South Australia, at our changeover when I became the president. And here I mentioned the dry creek bed races. There's the boat that we made, and we're racing against other mobs, like Fred Flintstone used to do in his car, and we unfortunately didn't win, but we had a lot of fun. So at the musters, we do all sorts of things. We have a lot of happy hours. We have fine sessions. We don't have any of those during the year, but we tend to do a bit of that, as we did last night. It was freezing, but we had a fire and it was terrific. At our muster coming up, we've got some computing technology sessions. Some of our members are not that computing literate, and the bottom dot point is very important. Our club wouldn't attract members if we didn't also have a good time. We have musters where we don't do anything but just socialise. A group of 15 or so of us met in the Grampians in Victoria, the southern group of people, and had a great 3 or 4 days. That was terrific. And at the same time, a group met, and you can see the difference in the outfits. That's southern cold and the northern hot area. They met on Bribie Island, not far from Brisbane, and planted a few trees also, and had a great time. We did have a lot of friendly rivalry competition between the southerners and the northerners. It's all healthy and good fun. I guess much the same as you probably do with the interstate rivalry, and even rivalry with Canada, for example. We hope you enjoyed this presentation. If you want to know anything else about how we operate, technology can help there with emails, or get onto our website. But thanks for listening, and maybe one day I can come and visit your club face to face. You never know what might happen.
We hope you do sometime come over here and visit with us. I did know that John is also is a Green Bay Packer fan, sort of. So
I actually did think during the night that I should have put my Green Bay Packer shirt on. I've got it in the wardrobe. I wear it often. But it's just too cold, I'll tell you.
Okay, all right. Got a couple of questions, John. At this year's muster, where you're going for your changeover, are you doing service projects or fundraisers at the same time, or is it just primarily the changeover?
We're at that muster for about 10 days. There's one little service project we're doing for the local showgrounds, which is like the RV park. Where we're helping them with a sort of garden area. We'll do a bit of fundraising. We have what in Australia we call it the biggest morning tea, where everyone brings a plate of food. You'll pay $5, and it takes an hour or 2 or 3, and you have a cup of tea and a coffee because it's at the start of the day. And that money raised goes towards the Cancer Council, and you certainly have a big Cancer Council in America. Which I got an award from a few years ago, a Global Hero of Hope Award from the American Cancer Council. Mm-hmm. We raise a fair bit of dough at that. We have lots of fine sessions, and each one is designated to go to a certain spot. For example, mental health, one's designated for that. One happy hour where, and because we've got 50 or 60 people there, we'll get between $100 and $200 at each fine session. So another one of those fine sessions, the money's going to go to Polio Plus, and so on and so on.
Okay.
We tend to do a lot of socialising. We've got a riverboat trip for a few hours one day, and a bus tour around all the local, tourist icons another day. It's more a social thing. The annual big muster.
Okay. I did mention in previous conversations that one of the big fundraisers or you have done is you get together at the rodeo place and you help out there. Can you want to explain that a little bit?
Yes, I did mention the dry riverbed race, but at Mount Isa we have it's much like the Calgary Stampede. It's a 3-day event. I've never been to the Calgary Stampede, but my son Tristan has when he was on a Rotary exchange. Mount Isa have a rodeo, whatever you want to call it, 3 days, and they turn over, it is a huge event. They turn over $7 million, 7 million Australian. They get thousands and thousands and thousands of people. It started off very small years ago as a way of getting other people and money into the town. It's grown and grown. It is run by 2 Rotary clubs. It's their whole focus for the whole year. They have a paid secretary that runs it, and we got there last year, and there were around 20 of us who worked solidly for 3 days. and they made a donation of $5,000 to our club for us to use as we see fit.
Excellent. And so what are some of the other fundraisers you do? Because that's one of the questions that always comes up in e-clubs, how you do fundraisers, because you're not in the same place, not many members are. So what are some of the ways you do fundraisers?
When we first started, this was a big issue. We didn't quite know what we were going to do. And our parent club, Jindalee, agreed to bankroll us a little bit. And at the start, they certainly did. But we have a myriad of ways that have unearthed themselves. We have a Joker's Wild where everyone pays, in a face-to-face club, when you come in each meeting, you pay $2, and at the end of the night, they draw a card. And if you get the Joker, you get money, and half of that club goes to the winner and half goes to the club. We do that. And that works very well. It's a great part of every meeting. So that raises us a substantial amount over a year and enables us to have a lot lower per capitas. I've got 10 dozen wine with changeover labels on them, and I'll sell them. We paid $5 a bottle and sell them for 10, so we make $600 there. At local places, a couple of people in Melbourne help a local club with their parking at the Sunday markets.
Okay.
And so they get $250 every month. I help another local club with the Bunnings, with a barbecue sausage sizzle outside the hardware shop. And these clubs give us a little bit of proportion. It doesn't just happen out of the blue. There's discussion and liaison and prior, working out. But yeah, we seem to be flushed with funds. I said in 16-17 we'd given away $20,000. We've given away that in this year as well. A lot to the Flying Doctor, a lot to a bowel cancer mob. But yeah, we've been very surprised that, not easy because you've got to make it work, but how it has worked. Okay.
Now, how often do you do musters? You didn't really say how often you do those.
Right, the musters, we have this big annual muster. We have annually a southern and northern muster. But just 3 weeks ago, 10 of us went to a 80-kilometre trek, a 2-day trek, and helped with I did the trek, and several of the people helped make the sandwiches and so on. So we call that a muster, but there was only 10 of us there. Mm-hmm. A few weeks ago in Brisbane, there were 15 at another club, sort of overnight, a weekend festival, who stayed there and had fun. In 3 weeks' time, there's a group from Brisbane going out 400 k's to Millmerran for a 5-day camp oven cooking festival, and they will help. They clean the toilets and so on, and they've agreed to pay us $4,000. And that cleaning the toilets doesn't sound very nice, but you do that for 2 hours a day, and the rest of the time you have fun. Yeah.
Well, you got to have money so you can give it away or do projects and things like that. So that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And as I know, for people watching this, is even though you're an e-club and you don't meet personally that often, but you do as individuals, as a whole group, you're doing pretty much what regular Rotarians do. You are doing service projects all over the country, and you're doing fundraisers, and you're doing networking and socializing, same as any other Rotary club. You just do it differently. So.
Yes, and one of the thrills for me at this muster, we'll get there on Monday, we'll get there next Tuesday, is that there's several of our newer members that I've inducted. But when I was lying in my bed at a meeting and they were in Brisbane or Townsville or somewhere else, I've inducted them on a Zoom meeting, and I will meet them for the first time.
Okay.
And that's a thrill. Lots of people will meet for the first time on this trip. We have a revolving door of membership, just like probably your club and any other club.
Okay, great. Well, John, I'd like to thank you very much for talking with us today, and I look forward with our presentation we're going to do on June 25th. For those who are going to be in Toronto, June 25th at 1 o'clock local time is the breakout session, room 715, I believe. We'll look up if you're at Rotary Convention, look it up. And we won't be there. John and I will both be doing on the big screen, much like we're doing right now.
actually two members of our club will be there, so they'll be in the audience. Andy, I'd just like to give you your notes back.
Pardon?
You want to take the notes? Take the notes?
Yeah, thank you very much. I got them, John. Thanks.
Thanks, no worries.
Right now. Thanks.
Right.
We got to practice that some more.
Yeah, we do.
Okay. We're going to hang up the meeting here. John, stay on. We'll talk some more here. But this is the
Thanks, folks.
official part at the end of the meeting.